So, it is the 1 year anniversary of my stroke. I mean, words I never thought would come out of my mouth for 400 Alex. I never, ever, ever imagined this. This would be my reality. I never imagined having a stroke. I never imagined sounding like my mouth was full of tissue when I speak. I never imagined being away from my daughter. I never imagined any of this, but here I am. A year ago, I was singing with one of my vocal idols, just idols in general, CC Winans, at City Winery. We were doing a recording for the Stellar Awards, and I mean, I don't even know how far through the whole process we were, but we had done a few songs already behind a few artists and sang some, say with a few different artists. And I apparently started to make no sense whatsoever and started babbling. And a really good friend of mine, Madeline, she contacted some people, and the rest, as they say, is history. I believe I had 3 different hospital stays. 2. I stayed at 2 hospitals and a nursing home, which I went there for rehabilitation and to use their gym. And I spent an inordinate amount of time in rehab, getting myself together. I am very grateful to a lot of people because at the aftermath, it's not something that you can do on your own. You have to have really good people around you to help you. Excuse me, as I hit myself in the face. You have to have really good people around you to help you. And God has blessed me with a very, very wonderful community. I'm laughing at myself saying community. Sidebar, or side something. Part of my side effects from the stroke, I will have difficulty talking because of where the stroke happened. I will have problem with my memory. I will cuss and I will laugh. If you know me, you know that a couple of those things are not new for me. I'll let you guess which ones they are. I pray that nothing happens while I'm, making this recording, but yeah, if it does, I had a stroke. What are you gonna do? But anyway, backtracking, I'm very grateful for the people who have come to visit me, who have written me emails, who have sent me letters, care packages, who have checked on me. I'm grateful for my church, Christ Church Nashville. I'm grateful for my whole village because it's not, no one really rehearses what to do when death is at your door. And for all intents and purposes, I was considered dead or on my way to death. I was brain dead for a few days, for a while actually. And my parents were basically told, this is it, you really need to get your affairs in order. Your daughter's not going to make it. What I later have found out, because my father looks everything up, is that people who have suffered the same kind of issue that I have either have a full recovery or they die. There really is no in between. And I have been told that I will make a full recovery in time. I put those stupid quotes up because it's time. If anybody knows me knows that I do not like the idea of time and not having a finite answer. Excuse me, my glasses are filthy. And not having a finite answer is wearing me out. So, there is that. But I am grateful for the fact that this is temporary. I will say that having a stroke, well, having an issue of this type, having any kind of physical um, damage, issue, sickness, whatever, it really, that lingers. It will make you reevaluate your life. You will reevaluate your friendships, your relationships, your parenting, your ministry. You will reevaluate everything about yourself. Because one, you've got the time, and two, if you're like me, I had my stroke. Don't let me lie. I will say this: I had a big cyst growing on the back of my head, on the back of my brain, and the cerebellum. And the cerebellum is responsible for your motor skills, your speech, and movement. So basically, every single thing that I began to identify myself with was attacked. I was a singer. That was gone in an instant. I was a speaker, gone in an instant. I could write, gone in an instant. I was very, very autonomous, gone in an instant. And you begin to really question yourself. You question God. You question life. What are you supposed to do now in the situation you find yourself in? Everybody's answer will be different. I know that me being in this way makes me no less a child of God and loved of God, and that I clearly have something left here to do because God does not make mistakes. If I was left here, there's something more for me to do or say, maybe both, and I'm gonna do that. But you really do have to wrestle with who you are, who you've been, and what you want to do with the rest of the time that you have. And I'm no different. I really don't think I'm any different. That has been me, and that was me. Because, well, my parents are both, my father is gifted mathematically. Both of my parents are gifted mathematically. My father is an accountant. My mother is a chemical engineer. So math and science is their thing. But for a while, my mom was getting her doctorate in neuroscience. I'll get back on that later. But because of who my parents are, they both are really into research and knowledge and all of that. My father, while I was in Houston just a little bit ago, and I stayed there for about a month. He did some research on the type of stroke that I had and really found that either you die or you get better. Like, there is no in between. And then he began to tell me a little bit of our journey and what he had to experience. And he recalled that it was very, very bleak for a while, that I was in a coma. I was not conscious, and there was a time where it really looked like I was not going to be here much longer. That is a lot to wrap your brain around as a parent. I cannot fully understand what my father went through because I'm not him. But as a mother, I cannot imagine getting a call that something has happened to my daughter. I would lose it. And then I think of my friends. I cannot imagine getting a call that something was wrong with them, or that they may be dying, or whatever. Unfortunately, many of us have been in places where we've had that moment where we found out that a loved one wasn't going to be with us much longer or was gone. I really do apologize for that. I've been there, and it's not great. It is not great. It is one of the hardest things on earth. And honestly, everybody responds to that differently. There is no right or wrong way to respond to death. But my parents had to come to grips with the fact that their eldest child might be gone. My foster sister is 9 months older than me. I can hear her getting mad about what I just said. But I was the one that they adopted first. They had to wrap their minds around the fact that they might have come all the way from Texas, where they live, to Nashville to say goodbye to me. That's not cool. That's not cool. Several friends had to choose either faith or fear, and when they found out that I was in a coma or that I was in the hospital or that things were not looking well for me, had various responses and had to deal with the fact that I might be gone. I don't really think very much of myself. I don't mean that in a debasing way. I mean, what I'm saying is I don't think, and I don't really think any of us do, think of how we affect the people around us or who we are in other people's lives. You just are living your life. You're just doing whatever you do. That was me. But in a moment, in a situation like this, where you might be gone or whatever, you see who will step up and play a specific role in your life. And I'm very, very grateful to my community, to my church, to my family, to my friends, to everybody for praying. I have met, anyone that knows me knows that I am honestly an introvert. I do a lot of performing and a lot of singing, and so a lot of people are shocked to know that I really don't want to be, like, the last thing I want to do is bring attention to myself. But I, being in this position, have met a lot of people that I otherwise wouldn't have met. And I have heard all kind of stories about loved ones that are gone, or near-death experiences, or strokes and how they affected people, or, all kinds of things. I know I will carry that experience with me for the rest of my life. Part of me wants to be very heroic and say thank God for this situation. I'm not there yet. I might get there later. I'm sure I will. But I won't say thank God yet because it's been hard. Very, very hard. And being with my daughter every day, that stinks. That stinks. Especially since I was a single mother and raising her completely on her own. I'm grateful that she's had the time that she's had with her father, but I was used to living life a certain way, and that changed on a dime. My entire reality changed. So as I sit here on the eve of the anniversary of all of this happening, I have, an attitude of gratitude. I'm laughing because I hate when people say cheesy things, and I think that's really cheesy. An attitude of gratitude. Shut up. Shut up. Be quiet. But I do have that. I am very, very grateful that I'm on the other side. and still progressing. I still have much more healing to do, but I'm not where I was. So for that, I thank God. I will say that if you are in a season that you did not see coming, to, take a moment and feel what you feel. Your feelings are extremely valid, and you're allowed to be mad. You're allowed to be sad. You're allowed to be happy. You're allowed to feel whatever you need to feel. That is, they're very real feelings, and your feelings matter not only in this world but to God. You're allowed to feel that, but also keep going. Like don't give up. There are many opportunities in our lives where we are presented with the chance to quit or keep going. Keep going. I cannot sit here and act like I have all the answers. I can't even begin to fully see everything that God is up to or understand why. Just the why of it all. But I've determined to keep going. Like, there has to be, and there is, a purpose behind everything. Nothing happens by happenstance. So, there is a reason. So, dig in. Listen, seasons are hard. Life is hard. We go through some crap. We come out. We either, as my director in college would say, we fold or we flourish. It really is up to nobody but you to decide whether you fold or flourish. And every decision that you make until you get to heaven or until you reach the finish line is pushing you in the direction of folding or flourishing. Who are you? Who do you want to be? Work. Just push yourself. Gosh, I'm sitting here. I'm in a very reflective mood. Just sitting here thinking about how many people have been so wonderful. Listen, a part of my official side effects of this whole stroke is that I cuss a lot. I have memory loss, and I laugh a lot. I apologize if I've done any of that in this moment. Those who know me really well will know that only one of those things is kind of new to me. I've laughed when it was inappropriate for as long as I've been alive. I've cussed like a sailor for a while. I'm not proud of it, but it's what we got. Memory loss is new. So I've solved the equation for you. If I've laughed or done any of those things, I apologize, because it is very serious. Also, I have to say that I think it's really, really funny that I suffered what's called a wedge stroke, because ew. I won't say more. But that's really funny. I'll let you ponder on that. That's funny. They're very serious business. Take your health seriously. Do what you have to do so that you're here for the people that love you and that you love. And sometimes things happen beyond our control. When you find yourself in that situation, decide who you want to be and then do it. Like, don't let anybody keep you in a box. Be who you want to be. Say what you want to say. Write what you want to write. Live how you want to live. Life is too short, and there are no guarantees other than crap happens. That is guaranteed. You are guaranteed to some mess. So, decide who you want to be in the middle of that and then go. Like, just go. go. I probably have wandered around and said all kinds of stuff that I didn't really want to say or mean to say. I just thought that I should say something because of the anniversary of all this mess happening and how it's affected people. And because I'm going to have a benefit concert very, very soon. And if you are in the Nashville area at all, I hope you can make it. Even if you're not in the Nashville area, you have a personal invitation. I'm very, very honored that this concert is happening and upset at the same time because part of me is still a little agitated that there's a need, but there is a need. And I'm very, very grateful for this space to be able to do this and for the people who are helping me do this. For the folks who are pulling this off, I'm so very grateful. I really don't have words. I don't have words. But yeah, I'm sure there's more. I'll think back and be like, I should have said this, or I meant to say that, or whatever. But that's all I've got for now. And that's what's going down with Lacey Brown.